Am I the a-hole for having my ex arrested at my wedding? Ooh, this is gonna be juicy. So let's get into it. This happened 2 days ago at my 28 and my wife's 49 wedding. And a lot of people are telling me I'm in the wrong for having my ex 27 arrested, and my wife is saying I ruined the wedding and caused a scene. Hmm. First, a little backstory on my ex. We were together over 5 years ago for a matter of weeks. Hmm. Okay. Okay. I broke things off because I just wasn't into her that much. She began to pester me over text and social media all over the time to get back together or just hook up. This went on for months. And in a particularly weak moment, I gave in and slept with her again. At this point, things got a lot worse. I tried to explain that it was a mistake and I didn't want anything with her. Then the text messages ranged from to begging me for spicy time. Ooh. And eventually I just blocked her. From then she started turning up in my house, work and social spaces and went to Afton. Ooh, it's getting obsessed. She attempted to force herself on me and threatened the V word. And at that point, I got a restraining order. Since then, I haven't heard from her in years. Okay, okay. And then she showed up at your wedding, and then people are mad at you? Huh. Make it make sense. Cause no. I met my wife 3 years ago and she's honestly the best thing in my life. We fell in love hard and honestly have a great relationship. We got engaged after 2 years and 2 days ago, finally had our wedding. The day was going amazingly until a friend of mine who I'll call Chris turned up with his plus one, my ex. Your friend called Chris showed up with your ex? Oh no, Chris gotta go too. I spoke to him and he had absolutely no idea about my history with her and we tried to get her to leave. Oh, after she refused, I decided to just ring the police. Two officers showed up to arrest her for breaking the restraining order and she flipped out. She was shouting and screaming. She hurled abuse at my wife and claimed that we were meant to be together, which obviously distracted from our wedding. Oh, the drama. Okay. Okay. Because now my wife is upset with me for causing a scene. Causing a scene. I would argue that you didn't cause the scene. Your ex did, and she violated a restraining order. So, listen, no scene would have been caused if she didn't show up to the wedding in the first place. And if she had left when you asked her to the first time. So my wife is upset with me for causing a scene, and a lot of our friends are saying I should have just ignored it and focused on the day because she wasn't causing any problems until the police showed up. So am I the a-hole? Causing any problems for who? Because it seems like she was causing a problem for you. I need to answer some of the questions I've had. Yes, my wife knew I had a restraining order against a stalker. We spoke about it when we started to become serious. A few family members also knew, but my friend didn't, as I never spoke to them about it. I'm kind of mad at your wife and like anybody who has a problem with you, like removing someone that made you like really, really uncomfortable, that has hurt you in the past. I'm mad for you. I'm gonna say you're not the a-hole, but let's see what everybody else has to say. First comment, you had a return order for a reason. I believe she was well aware of it and knew what the consequences would have been. That part. No, no, no. That's so valid. She knew better than to be attending. I almost feel like she you know. stalked you on social media and found out who your friends were and like started like this plan to like get in with one of your friends? Who knows what plan she had in mind before she was taken away? Knowing that she was there and having the fear, you would not have enjoyed yourself if you would have let her stay. OP responded to this and said, God knows her intentions, but everyone seems to think she was doing nothing wrong and was harmless. No, 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 no. By definition, violating a restraining order is doing something wrong. Her mere presence is wrong. Mm-hmm. She actually achieved what she set out to do. There was a restraining order against her. She deceived the date, made it in, and made herself the center of attention. She wanted to disrupt the wedding and she succeeded making a scene. No one is talking about the wedding. They are all talking about her crazy antics. I'm not sure how else you could have handled it without calling the police. Next time you have an event, don't wait on her to show up. Just station security at the door. You are definitely not the air home. The naysayers don't have a restraining order against her. You do. You know her level of crazy. You did what you had to do. Congrats on your wedding. Yeah, that part. Okay, like, congrats on the wedding. I'm sorry that this is overshadowing your happy day. I don't get what you were supposed to do. You asked her to leave nicely and she wouldn't, so you called the police. A natural progression. Like if another person said, if Opio was a female who had a restraining order on an ex that showed up to cause trouble, I'm sure anyone saying this was an overreaction would be singing a different tune. She violated a restraining order and was arrested for a reason. It sucks that she caused the scene, but that is what crazy does. Yeah, but we do have an update. It's been a very long day since I first posted. I have spoken with both my wife and Chris. Starting with my wife, we had a very long, tearful conversation about everything from my ex to our wedding. I apologize for the fact that I didn't consider involving her before calling the police, which meant that ex's outburst when being escorted out came as a complete surprise to her. Okay. Okay. I still don't love that she wouldn't listen to you, but okay. She apologized for the way she reacted and explained that she wasn't angry at me, but is angry at the ex, the fact that the wedding was ruined and that the focus was shifted away from us and to ex, her anger was misdirected. Okay, well, at least she recognizes that. It's a progress. Another reason for the anger is that a lot of girls had no idea who X was, so X's comment of we were meant to be together has apparently led to people theorizing that I had been cheating on my wife with my ex. So we are now having to put out fires before rumors begins to spread. That's all the more reason to have her removed. I'm sorry. My wife is now very much focused on making sure I'm okay after all of this. While she's still distraught about our special day being ruined, but we will work through that together. On to Chris, this is where things get a little scary. Me and wife called him together firstly to check that he is okay, and he is. And secondly, to see how the hell she's managed to warn her way into his life in order to get to my wedding. Cause like, how? According to Chris, they connected over social media. Okay. Remember when I said about the ex stalking OP, finding out who his friends were, and probably like DMing them or whatever? That's exactly what happened. So she started liking his post over the course of a month and then DM'd him and then they started chatting. From there, the crazy part is that to Chris, X has a completely different name, but the post on her profile dated back 3 years, meaning she has had this profile with a fake name for at least 3 years and it's not the only one. Chris told us a few other guys contacted him after the wedding saying they recognized her as they all had also gotten DMs from her on different accounts. Ooh, all with a different name. Oh, wow. There is at least 3 other accounts that we are currently aware of. Unbelievable. Oh, I firmly believe that you should never be just taking a date to a wedding. It should always be someone that you've known for a while, that you like know their behavior, like they are not the type of people to get like insanely drunk and like embarrass themselves or you. This is why, okay, because you already can't control how your friends and family are gonna behave on your wedding day. So the no plus one rule mitigates some of the issues that could arise. Okay? Case in point, though. So yeah, if you are planning a wedding and you are currently on the fence of, oh yeah, he could have a plus one, or oh yeah, she could have a plus one, or guests could really have a plus one, really consider that. Really reconsider that, because it's just like, I'm not saying something crazy like this is gonna happen. You just like, I would prefer to have it at the very least known that, you know, someone had been dating for a while, or they're like engaged or something, then to just let someone bring a random day. Like, what do you mean someone DM'd you and then you brought them to your friend's wedding? Like, that's just weird to me. But anyway, let's keep going. So apparently S shows no signs of being obsessed with me or even that she knew who I was. He invited her as a plus one thinking they might eventually get serious and they were having a good time together. He has apologized profusely, but we've made it clear we do not blame him for this. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's kind of hard to like, I just still personally feel like they've only been seeing each other for a month. And at the very least, boyfriend and girlfriend for at least 6 months. There has been no word currently on what's going on with X, but considering her breaching the restraining order and resisting arrest, we assume she will probably end up in prison. Me and wife have spoken about it, and if we are contacted by the police, we will absolutely press charges, and wife will also be getting a restraining order. For now, we are trying to enjoy our honeymoon, deal with the rest of this mess when we get back. Thank you, Reddit, for all of the advice and opinions. You gave a lot of perspective on these situations I had not considered. So I'm really sorry that this overshadowed your day. It makes pretty story interesting story for sure. It make an interesting story for sure. But congratulations on the wedding, and I'm glad that it kind of worked out and nothing was happened. At some point in time, this is just gonna be some funny story, hopefully, where you were like, oh yeah, I remember when my crazy stalker ex showed up to my wedding. I strongly believe that you guys are gonna laugh about this at some point. Hopefully, enjoy your honeymoon, and that's all I have to say. No, you are not the a-hole. But what do you guys think? My wife cheated, we divorced, and somehow life brought her back in a way I never expected. 9 years ago, my life exploded. A friend told me he saw my wife walking into a hotel with another man. I didn't react immediately. I gathered evidence quietly, chats, pictures, receipts, everything. When I finally confronted her, she denied it until I showed her photos of her kissing the man. That was when the tears and excuses started. I was lonely. You weren't there. It's not what you think. I wanted to kick her out. She threatened to take the house, the kids, and everything. Until the day I heard my daughter crying. My wife had slapped her in anger because she had no right to question her. That was the moment something in me snapped. I filed for a divorce, got custody, and kept the house, and let it through destroy her reputation. Her family rejected her. Her friends disappeared. The man she cheated with threw her away. She reached her lowest point. She was completely destroyed by depression. 5 years passed. One day she showed up at my door on her knees, crying like a child. She said she had no one, nowhere to go. that losing her family destroyed her, that she would do anything to be in our lives again. I didn't trust her, so I tested her. She agreed to every rule I set. No password on her phone, no job unless I approve, and no big decisions without my permission. Nothing in her name. Full access to everything. She cooks, clean, care for homes, and she never complains. People see us outside and say, you two found your way back together. If only they knew. She rebuilt her relationship with the kids. She smiles again. She laughs again. She clings to me like oxygen. But deep down, she knows I don't trust her. And I remind her anytime she forgets. She begs for us to remarry. I told her maybe after the youngest turned 25. To the world, she's my wife again. But in reality, she's a woman trying to earn back something she threw away. And here is the part even she doesn't know. If in 10 years I still can't tell of her again, I will let her go. I will simply tell the world that we tried, but it didn't work. And she will have to start her life all over again. Again. She works hard every day to prove herself. She's happy in a way that scares me. And me, I don't even know what I am anymore. Not a hero, not a victim, not even the villain. Just a man who learned he can forgive but can't forget. Hmm. What do you think? I am a man, but sometimes I cry in my room where nobody can see me. I married into a family that is loud with money. My wife's father is a wealthy man, and from the first day, they took over my life. They bought the taxi I drive. They paid for the two-room apartment where we live. Even the clothes I wore for our wedding was a gift from her mother. Our wedding was the talk of the town. At first, I thought it was love, but now I see it is a chain. Every evening, when I come back from driving, I don't have a voice in my own house. If I say, let us eat rice, she will say, no, we are eating yam. And I must keep quiet. I am the one who washes all the baby's clothes by hand, cleans the floor, and cooks the food while she sits down, pressing her phone. If I try to talk, she will remind me that the roof over our head belongs to her father. But the real darkness started last year. She has a very bad temper. If the food is late or if the house is not shiny enough, she starts to shout. From shouting, she started pushing me. One night, because I got home late from work, she used a wooden turning stick to hit my head. I had to go to the chemist to stitch it. I told my friends I fall down from a bike. I was too ashamed to tell them the truth. Now I live in fear. Every time I hear her car horn at the gate, my heart starts beating fast. I am like a tenant in my own marriage. I want to leave, but where will I go? If I go, she will take the taxi and I'll have no way to feed myself. I don't want my son to grow up without a father, and despite everything, I still care for her. I remember the woman she was before the money entered her head. Really? Is it a crime for a man to be held by his wife's family? How can I get my respect back without losing everything? I am tired of eating rich man's bread that is full of sand. My heart is breaking. Hmm. What do you think about this story? What do you think you should do? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching.